Test 1 2 3 for YouTube Live. Test 1 2 3 for YouTube Live. All right, looks like everything's a go. It's now 8:50 a.m. 10 till the meeting begins. It is now 8:50 a.m. 10 minutes till the public meeting begins. This is Gabe Vega here at Commtech. I'm here with Jack out of Chicago, our Android training creator, and we are waiting for further participants. And like I said, it's 10 till. This is pure testing. Looks like everything's a go. Our Zoom account is recording. We are live on YouTube, and we will get started here in about 10 minutes. Alyssa, just go ahead and unmute. You looks like you're already here.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So we are in fact live on YouTube right now. So the meeting starts at 9. So this is sort of a small testing prep time.
Everyone give a warm welcome to Lindsey Henson.
Oops. I thought I changed it to, I tried to change it to say, let me see if I can fix that. Oh, it sure does.
Because anybody's going to wonder, why does this crazy blind man keep calling this woman Alyssa?
Yeah, well, that's why I tried to change it to say Alyssa. And for some reason, I guess it didn't do it.
I think we scared Christian. He came when he left.
Let's see. Rename, there it is.
It is now 8:52 a.m. 8:52 a.m. 8 minutes until the public meeting starts.
There we go. Should be fixed.
Hey, Jack.
Yeah.
Let's limit the speech where we can, please.
Oh, oops.
And really, it's not even because it's speech. It's actually because your synthesizer. Your synthesizer is just agitating to my ears.
Oh. Oh.
I think that's so mean. I'm sorry. I think.
Oh no.
I think eSpeak is the most god awful synthesizer on the
Could-
It
planet.
sounds like Robot Alien.
Could be worse.
And I've used Keynote. You know what I mean? So I swear.
Could be worse. Could be the Echo.
On the old Apple, I remember that one.
Your name is fixed, by the way, Alyssa.
Yep, I thought so. Because
Hey, we got a full staff here, guys. Taylor Durrett, she's on board.
Hey.
Daniel Contreras is on board. Taylor is our iOS Basics in our era course creator. Daniel Contreras is our pro audio guy on the Mac. Taylor is always sneaking in and out. What's up, Taylor? Unmute and let us know you're alive.
Hello. I was also trying to start my video, but I'm having a hard time doing that.
Is it something on our end or?
No, I don't know. I think it's on my end. I'm using my phone this go around.
Oh, that might be why.
it is at the bottom. It is right after the mute button.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know where it's at.
Well,
I'm just
yeah,
saying
it's just not letting her
giving me some-
start.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, y'all can hear
Alright.
me, right?
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
Daniel.
Hey, everybody.
You're the one with the that deep professional radio voice.
Yeah, I
Thank
like
you.
it.
Yeah, you are now listening to 87.7 Commtech FM.
You're number one.
There you go. It's about 5 till 8:55 a.m. 5 minutes until the public meeting.
So is this kind of like the last one that we had?
No, this is actually going to be a
No.
lot quicker. There's going to be no bios. Strictly giving free 2-minute tech support to clients who call in.
Bill Handle, your sort of question shows.
Handle on the law. I don't know if anybody remembers that show. He was this attorney that just gave out this non-meaningful, marginal law advice. It
I
was
remember.
Sounds about right.
Right.
So,
No comment.
I'm just kidding. I don't know if any lawyers are on here. Sorry.
so far it's just staff.
So I take it the format that we'll use and is kind of we'll do it like in like a round robin. Myself, Daniel, Jack, Alyssa, and Taylor, or Taylor, Jack, and Alyssa, depending on who wants to go in the round robin. And if for any reason we're not the ones able to answer that, we could go ahead and just pass it on to someone else. But I would like the entire staff to participate if possible.
Yeah. Okay.
I think, yeah, maybe like an open type setting, right?
Correct.
pretty much,
Okay.
So
yeah.
if someone feels they can answer the question, I would just say like jump in.
Yeah.
Awesome.
If it seems like there's no one at like silence for 5 seconds, then
Yeah, there's times for 5 seconds, and Gabe Vega, the know-it-all, will just jump in and take over.
yeah.
I like that there's going to be an Android course up, and then I
Yes.
like y'all's Accessadroid.
Yes, Accessadroid.
I'm saying y'all's because that is not my forte, but that's really cool.
Well, we're very proud of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're also saying
Android-
y'all's because you're from Texas, right?
Yeah.
And that.
Yeah, no,
3 minutes, guys. 3 minutes countdown.
Android has needed this since its existence, pretty much.
Yeah, I helped a client attempt to sign up yesterday, but for some reason his subscribe button was acting funny. But then it was like, you've reached the limited amount of subscriptions. So if it shows him millions of times, that's why, because we kept pressing enter because it wasn't showing that he subscribed.
Well, we just got 50 users.
Yeah, and they're all named Frank.
They're all named Frank. Thanks, Frank, and Frank for signing up.
Times 50.
50%.
Good stuff.
Nice.
2 minutes.
Yes. I'm excited to start the podcast series on Good Maps Explorer. Because
we got members coming in. Gabe, sorry.
Say again.
So we got a decent turnout.
I seen the Slack, but we're gonna sort of ignore that for now.
All right, sorry.
Just over a minute, guys. Hi, Lauren.
Hey.
Welcome. Thank you
Welcome.
for joining us.
Yes.
We're gonna get started here in just over 60 seconds, Lauren. But thank you very much for joining. Feel free to unmute. If you have any comments or questions later on in the meeting, we'll let you know when that's appropriate. Just under 60 seconds, staff.
I was actually able to, my mom's a TVI locally, and I was able to assist her with something with the newer iPhone models with getting in and out of the app switcher. I was like, okay, cool.
There you go.
I'm glad it worked for you.
It runs in the family.
Yeah, she's
Really,
like,
Taylor?
Taylor,
Your mother's a TVI?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh,
Really?
I'm getting a Commtech phone call right now.
Well,
Yeah.
whoa,
Oh my God.
whoa, I'm cute.
I'm sorry.
If you need to jump over to that Commtech call, it might be customer service. I would say go ahead and grab that. But it hasn't rang through over here in the office. So.
Oh, we're also
All
on
right,
YouTube.
guys.
Hello, YouTube.
It is now 9 a.m. Let's do this.
Show on the road.
We're going to start now for editing. 3, 2, 1. Hey, everybody. This is Gabe Vega here at Commtech USA with the staff.
They hung
we're
up on me.
That's fine. We're doing our free Commtech support hour here on December 24th, Christmas Eve 2020, where we will be offering you free reasonable tech support under 2 minutes for any question that you may have in regards to your system technology, software, or hardware. Feel free to join us on our Zoom link. It is posted everywhere that Commtech is found, whether it's our Facebook page or Twitter page, our YouTube page, our app, and in many other places. Just simply click on the Zoom link or click on the One Touch iPhone and Android phone number link, and you will be able to join us here and ask your questions. I'm joined by my amazing staff, Daniel Contreras of our Pro Audio department, Alyssa Henson and Taylor Durrett, and Jack Falanchek from our course creator and training departments. And we are here to answer any question you may have. Let's go ahead and get this started with Lauren Berger. If you have a question, go ahead and unmute and
Audio now
ask
unmute.
away.
Hi, I've subscribed to Contact, and everything's very informative. I I have a few problems. I have a PC, it's a Dell laptop, and I'm having a hard time using Outlook on the web. When I get Outlook, for example, I get Outlook.com using my Microsoft account for Microsoft 365, except I can't get it on. I recently heard a webinar where they were talking about how to use Outlook on the web, and they were talking about webmail, and they were saying something about there were different commands like compose, and I just get Outlook.com, and it's giving me very limited features. I'm not able to get the actual Outlook on the web accessibly. I know what
This is Gabe Vega. I'll go and jump in and answer this question real quick. First off, what screen reader are you using?
Right now, I'm using NVDA. Sometimes I use JAWS, sometimes I use Narrator. It varies.
Okay. And when you're using NVDA, do you turn off browse mode with insert spacebar?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So there's 3 different panels on Outlook.com. Once you log in Outlook.com and you're in that loaded, it's a web application. So the first thing you need to do is turn off browse mode, and then you're sort of tabbing around like if you're in like an actual Windows app. So the 3 sections are your toolbar, where it's like new mail, your folder list, and then you have your like message list. So then once you navigate to a message using up and down to the selected, message that you want to interact with, you press enter to issue the command that you want to open that email. And then you have to reactivate browse mode.
Browse mode, right.
In order to read the email.
Correct. Okay. Oh, so that's the only way. Oh, because is it true that Outlook on the web, that that they were talking about is more of a school and an exchange server or something like that? Because I have MSN. I have an MSN account, and it's Outlook.com.
Right. So there's two different things that you're kind of like talking about here. There's what's called Outlook.com, and then there's what's called Outlook on the web. Outlook on the web is used in like a school or a work environment using a what's called an exchange account. And then there's Outlook.com, which is their consumer version, which is what I've given you instructions for right now.
Okay. And how do I use it like a regular, because there's Outlook Lite and Outlook Standard. How do I change the 2 views? I mean, is Outlook Lite and then Standard?
Again, are we talking about an Outlook account that you have at work or at school, or are we talking about just like a John Smith at Outlook.com?
A regular Outlook, Lauren Berger at MSN.com is my regular Microsoft account.
So that's going to be just your standard Outlook.com account. There really is no difference accessibility wise between those 2 things. There is an Outlook Lite theme, which is a visual theme that happens to the like web page, but it doesn't improve or detriment the accessibility usage on how the screen reader works, no matter what mode you are in.
Oh, okay. So, because what I've done was, you mentioned about the toolbars or whatever. I've done shift tabs and tabs to go to the folders. My only problem is I use Edge, and sometimes I have to refresh it because sometimes it doesn't even read the messages. So I don't know.
If you could, I would recommend using a browser such as Google Chrome, because it just simply reacts and displays websites a little bit more accessibly. Edge is okay, and Edge is currently like Chrome-like, but the most accessible web browser out there that we recommend here at Commtech is Google Chrome.
Chrome, okay. And now I have a question about Chrome. Often when I get onto Chrome, I got the latest Chrome. It keeps giving me this thing that says Web Advisor search. I don't know what the heck that is. Secure search something or other. I don't know what that means or what. Or
it sounds like a toolbar or like a web extension that's trying to advise you of like security. It might be like a McAfee security extension or plugin. Yes. I would say follow its advice, and if there's something that you don't understand, find a support team that can help you further.
Microsoft Disabilities or something. Okay. All right. Great. Thank you very much.
All right, Ms.
Thank
Berger, I hope we helped you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to try all those things. Thank you very much.
Uh-huh.
Very informative.
If there's anybody else with any questions, please feel free to unmute and ask your question. So, Taylor, you are a Windows user, is that correct?
Yes, from time to time I do use Windows.
And what do you happen to use for a web browser?
I use Chrome. I do have Brave, and I have like messed with it. I just haven't used it. Not really for any particular reason. I just tend to gravitate toward Chrome, I guess.
And Jack, what do you feel about Chrome and Brave and Edge?
I switched to Brave, previously being a full-time Firefox user. Brave and Chrome are probably the most similar in part. Edge, being Chrome-based, doesn't really make it a lot similar. Brave, I feel like Brave tries to stick to Chrome other than its own extra features, but it has the accessibility features that Google puts into the Chromium branch, like accessible image descriptions, stuff like that. So Brave is the most Chrome-like, and it's Chrome enough that I'm able to use it full-time. It also cuts down on my system resources significantly. Not that that's a concern on my computer, but it definitely is it makes the Chrome experience work better on older computers.
Okay. And I hear, isn't it also really good on security?
Absolutely, yes, very good on security. And that actually does make a speed difference, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I probably should use it more just for the sake of using it more. I just
absolutely the original way back when Chrome used to be insanely lightweight, and now it's become very, very heavy. Doesn't matter too much on a fast system, but on a system from maybe 6 or 7 years ago, it will make all the difference.
Interesting. Okay. So we are looking to see if we have any more participants.
I'm not seeing any on the list.
It's not like she was the only one that joined.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Well, it is a holiday too, so people are probably
Sure.
Yeah, they're probably having a late brunch.
Right.
Yeah.
So just real quick, as we have a pause in the questions and the participants, I'd like to quickly let people know that we do in fact offer one-on-one individualized tech support and training, and right now they are selling for as low as $39 a month. That's $39 for unlimited support and training, individualized and customized to whatever you're wanting to learn or get support on. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, including holidays. And that is only $39.99 a month or $3.99 a year. Right now, we have some amazing prices. Hello.
Kelsey Nicolay, hello.
Go ahead and unmute and ask your question if you have a question. If you have a tech support question that you need answered and you would like some support on, go ahead and unmute and ask your question. Kelsey Nicolay, if you have a question, go ahead and unmute and ask your question.
Actually, yes, I do have a question.
Sure. Hey.
I just installed JAWS 2021, and I'm having this issue where when I am using the Gmail website, when replying to an email and trying to activate the send button, it doesn't work. But I was not having this problem with 2020.
What mode are you in? Are you in the progressive web, the basic, the
Basic.
standard mode? Basic. Okay.
I hate standard mode. I tried it and I hate
So do I. So what happens when you click on the send button?
It just like JAWS doesn't do anything. It just stays put on that send button. And
So-
no matter how many times I click it, it just doesn't.
Have you tried, are you aware of the command insert or caps lock +3 to pass the key through?
I don't use that command.
You might want to, so if you're on the send button, this would depend on if the virtual cursor, the web cursor, is on the send button. If you try pressing the JAWS key +3, the next key you press will pass through. JAWS will ignore it. So if you press insert 3, then space or enter, it will pass that key straight through to the browser instead of the key hook, instead of JAWS's intercept. That may work.
Right, because I wasn't. I mean, I tried it in 2020, and it's working in 2020.
What browser are you using?
Chrome.
Okay.
Another idea that I'm sort of wondering is, so when you go to press that send button, are you tabbing out of that message box to the first button, which is send, or are you turning off forms mode and going to send?
I usually just tab over to send. I've always
Okay.
done that, and
You have auto forms mode.
Interesting. You know what I would try is there's another send button right up above that two box. So if you shift tab backwards, right past the two box, there's another send button up there. I would. It seems like a long way around, but what I'm wondering is if JAWS isn't refreshing its HTML buffer, and even if the new page loads or the email sends, JAWS just isn't updating its buffer to exhibit the fact that it didn't refresh its,
right.
Yeah.
And I
virtual buffer.
I did email Freedom Scientific Support about it, and they said that they can't replicate the behavior.
Have you tried clearing your cache?
I don't even know how to do that. So
On Chrome, press Control Shift Delete. It's close to Alt Control Delete, but it's not. It is Control Shift Delete. That takes you to your browser settings directly to the clear data section. In there, you can clear your history, your cookies, or your cache,
form
or you can clear
data.
them all at once. But you might want to clear your cache, restart Chrome, and maybe try and see if it's just having an off day.
who knows? Because this has been going on for ever since I installed 2021. I guess that was me being stupid and installed 2021 the day it came out. I shouldn't have, but hey, you live and you learn, right?
That is interesting that I have 2021 and it's not doing that.
Yeah, I wonder if
I have no idea. I mean,
Have you tried a different screen reader, a narrator, NVDA, maybe, and see if it replicates on that?
Well, she said she tried JAWS 2020 and it was working.
Yeah,
fine.
it's working in 2020.
Well, yeah, but like a different screen reader altogether. If you have both JAWS 2020 and 2021 installed on that system, and it doesn't work, maybe try a different screen reader altogether and see if it's a Chrome
Yeah,
problem.
I don't do. I know NVDA, but I'm not really very proficient with it because I don't use it. And I don't. I hate narrator, so and I don't narrator.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to say what I really think about narrator because there probably are kids here, but I don't like it. It's just it's a pain. I remember trying to set up to set up that thing with narrator from startup. I'm like, okay, I'm never doing this again.
Yeah.
I'll just get somebody else to set these darn systems up for me. Apple's so much easier as far as setting up, setting up a phone.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you that. And I'll have to try it in my other, I have 2 computers. I'll have to try it in the other one because I didn't update that one
Okay.
to 2021. And, so I guess I could try it on that one. And if it works on that one, then we know that it's something goofy with my system, which doesn't surprise me because that computer gave me trouble before.
Oh yeah.
It was note to self: don't ever get a Lenovo with JAWS.
Oh no, I have had my share of bad experiences with those two.
No.
Lenovo is.
No, but I had no choice because that's what the state got for me. But it was an absolute nightmare. My other machine's an HP, so watch when I update that to 2021, it's gonna work.
Oh yeah, I've even used the ThinkStation, Lenovo's idea of a workstation, and even that would only boot. It was a miracle if that thing even booted.
No thanks.
No, thank you.
I'll stick with my HP and my second choice, Dell.
Smart choice. Very smart choices.
I think that Jack's idea is a very good choice. Hello, Dale. Thank you for joining. So why don't you go try those 2 ideas, Kelsey? And
best of luck and happy holidays.
Go ahead and keep
thanks.
us updated.
It's not much of a Christmas this year, but
right.
It is what it is.
So, Dell, go ahead and unmute. If you have a question, go ahead and start off with your question.
Right.
Hi. Hi.
Hello.
I had a question. I'm using Outlook 2016, Windows 10, and latest version of JAWS 2020. In Outlook, the Control Y is used to go from folder to folder. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
However, when I'm in my draft folder or my archive folder, and I try to go elsewhere with the Control Y, it doesn't work. It works for all other folders, but not those 2.
When that does happen, do you try and resolve it by going just to the folder list by pressing Shift Tab?
Yes.
And are you able to get into that list?
No.
No. Okay. So what you're saying is, so once you're in your archive folder or your draft folder for any reason, you're sort of trapped in it.
Yes.
Really? Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be honest with you. I've heard of issues sort of intermittently with Control Y not working, bringing up that folder list dialog. In a variety of reasons, but to say that you get trapped in drafts or archives specifically, what I'm wondering is if when you go into those 2 folders, if there's a window either behind it or floating somewhere that's requiring your attention that won't let you interact with the computer until you answer something.
Well, not that I'm aware of. I'll have to get someone to look at the screen.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
That's quite a puzzler.
Yeah.
Well, thanks. I'll have someone look at the screen and see if there's something begging my attention.
Workaround. Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. All right, Dell.
Thanks.
Well, is there any other question that you have, sir?
Well, in fact, there is. In Word 2016, there's the Alt Q, which allows you to type in commands like changing font and
that's called the tell me command, where you type out the command that you're searching for.
Yeah. that had worked in Outlook for me when I was editing a message. However, it stopped working, and I don't know how to restart it.
You know, there's a way to kind of reset that, and normally the way it's done is that if you get to the Alt Q, now when you press Alt Q in Outlook, does it at least take you to that edit box?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't you try hitting Shift F10 or the applications key to bring up its context menu and see if there's like a reset or a recalibrate option in that menu pertaining particularly to that command.
Okay, to the tell me.
Correct.
Okay. All right, I'll give it a shot. Thank you.
Very good, Dale. Thank you very much, sir. All right, so this is Gabe Vega with the Commtech USA staff. We are here till 10 a.m. giving out free tech support and free answers for whatever assist technology you may have or information technology you may have, hardware, software, whatever the case may be. If you have a question, absolutely join our Zoom call here and partake in this chat where you have access to 5 staff members here at Commtech that are waiting and willing to answer your questions, whether it may be Pro Audio, Daniel Contreras from our Pro Audio department, Alyssa Henson from our Assistive Technology Training department, and Jack Ferlenchek and Taylor Durrett from our Course Creator departments. We are here to answer questions covering the iPhone, the iPad, Android, Windows, Mac, Linux, whatever the case may be. So if you have a question, correct, note takers, Alyssa and Taylor are our note taker people, and they will absolutely assist you in whatever questions you may have. So if you have a question on a Braille Note, Empower, Apex, a Humanware or HIMS note taker, a Polaris, a Sense, whatever the case may be, Freedom Scientific PackMate, I have one of those. I could pull it out right now and troubleshoot anything you got. So whatever your question may be, feel free. If you're joining us here, go ahead and unmute and ask your question. If you're joining us, go ahead and unmute, state your name, and ask your question.
I have a question.
Go ahead, sir.
How often do you have these free 1 hour things, or is this just a one-time thing?
Can you state your name, please?
Yeah, I'm Bernie Worley from Virginia. I spoke to you years ago.
Oh, okay, very good. This is actually something that we're just trying. So we did this last week with our open house. We find that it definitely generates some good community interactions. It's something that we wanted to do. You know, we've been here for about 16 years and we've never really done anything like this before. And it's something that we felt that we wanted to give back to the community because we definitely do understand that not every individual has the same financial situation who can't just, subscribe to our services or whatever the case may be. So we thought that it would be pretty giving and pretty, appreciated if we came out here and just gave back to the community and provided a free service like this. So as long as the interest is there and we build up that traffic, if the traffic justifies it, we'll come out here more and more. So, I mean, this is definitely something that I don't believe is going to be a one-time thing. I think this is definitely going to be something that we can do. It doesn't take much. We're not losing by coming out here giving you all free advice and free service. I mean, it's something that we do because it's something that the community needs as a whole.
Well,
so
I'm very sorry to interrupt. I'm very interested, and I'm very interested in your services too. But you have an old email address. Can someone take my email and send me your contact info? Because I'm actually doing my Christmas shopping right now and I can't stick around.
Okay, great. Alyssa, can you take down a note, please?
Yep, just a moment.
Okay, and go ahead with that email, just sir.
Yeah, it's Bernie, BERNIE.
Okay.
.recovery@gmail.com. Bernie.recovery@gmail.com. So Bernie,
RECOVERY.
yep, bernie.recovery@gmail.com.
Okay, we'll go ahead and email your contact information, sir.
Yeah, and
All right, did you write that, or do you need me to write that down?
I got that.
I can write it down.
Okay.
And yeah, and I'll contact you next week about your services.
All right then. Very good.
Okay, Merry Christmas.
Merry
Thank
Christmas,
you.
sir. Yes, sir.
Bye-bye.
All right, Mr. Bernie, thank you for your question, and I'm glad that we could answer that for you. If there's any other individuals with questions, please unmute, state your name, and ask your question. So this is something that, like I said, it seems to be very good for the community. It's something that the community needs. If this is something that the community wants us to continue doing, then just help us justify it with the traffic. Get your colleagues and your friends and people to show up. And as long as we have a good traction with traffic, we will definitely have no problem coming out here providing this sort of service. If you have a pro audio question, we have our pro audio guy here, Daniel Contreras, a blind musician, blind professional audio producer out of Houston, Texas, here to answer your question. Feel free. We also have our assistive technology trainer, Alyssa Henson, and our two course creators, Jack Verlechek and Taylor Durrett, who has made our web management course, our iPhone, iOS basics course, and our Era course. Again, feel free to ask questions in all these different areas, and we are here standing by to assist you. So if you do have a question, please unmute, state your name, and ask your question.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
It's Lauren. Hi, I have another couple of questions. Sorry, but I have another couple of questions.
State your name, please.
Lauren.
Lauren.
Okay.
Burgess.
Okay, Lauren. Okay.
I have another couple of other questions. First of all, I also have a problem with Gmail. I use both views using each my screen readers, but I use standard because it has more features in it, and I can start at first. I can use it, but after a while, it stops reading the messages and the checkboxes. It stops functioning properly. So I don't know.
Is this on Edge?
I'm sorry.
Is this on Edge still?
On Edge, sometimes on Chrome, but it's. I mean, I could try it on Chrome, but it has happened too that when I get on Gmail, it starts okay, reading me the messages, whatever. But then after a while, it doesn't read me. I'd have to go to like Gmail, like where it says a Gmail link or a skip to main contact link, and get on or something like that. Or sometimes I even get on to sometimes I end up using HTML because it could be as a web page and it reads you all the messages you need.
Yeah.
How could I stay on standard and continue to read the messages and function properly? Or is it not so feasible?
If you really want the view of if you prefer the standard view, it would probably be best to get an email client. There's a few. There's Thunderbird. There's one called Thunderbird, and there's one called EM Client, which I use, and they're both fairly accessible, and they provide the features that the interface that standard view has tried to represent, but it is imperfect.
So it is better but I also use Windows Mail app.
How well does that work with your email?
That's better because you can read all your messages and you
probably better to use Windows Mail then, or if you need something more advanced, there's EM Client, which
are they free services that you could just download? Or
EM Client, yes, it has a free version. If you only need the pro version if you want to enable like message snoozing and have more than 2 accounts. So if you don't need more than 2 accounts in a client, then it is totally free for you to use.
So I just use one account really for it.
Okay, so then EM Client is totally free then.
So how do you use it? You just you just set up your Google or whatever account you have, and then
Yes, it has integrations with most all the mail services. You set it up with your Google account. You read the message. It's kind of a nod to like Eudora Pro and the old like email clients. It's list of messages. You hit enter on one. You read it with the arrows. Escape out of it when you're done, and then there's shortcuts for like compose new message, reply all, forward. It's basically a nod to the legacy email clients, but with modernized.
but it's
Ready
not
for
not a website or in a web.
No, it is an actual program. It's like it is like it's like Outlook. It's like the Outlook client, the Outlook program on the computer, the desktop app. But it is a program that you download.
Oh, okay. I could try it. Okay. And Thunderbird also the same, but I've never used it, so.
Yeah, Thunderbird is also another. It really boils down to computer speed and personal preference. I personally use EM Client Pro, but Thunderbird is also very functional.
All right, I'll try it. Okay, I'll try. And also have it. Okay, so I'll try them. And also, I have another question about someone else who mentioned Narrator. I use Narrator. It's very functional, but the only problem I have is when I get into a website, it just sometimes it just doesn't. It goes.
Narrator and Edge do not play nicely.
No, they do not.
Apparently
No.
not. And
No, they
Microsoft, product. I think that it should, but
you would think.
You would think,
but they don't.
For some reason, when I'm on a website, sometimes it just goes to, like, it doesn't read me the heading. It just makes a sound, and it just stops. So it just stops. Is there something I could do about that? Or
and actually, it's really funny, being that Narrator is Microsoft's screen reader and Edge is Microsoft's web browser. You kind of wonder, where did that ball drop? You know what I mean? But
when Edge had an identity crisis, that's when.
Right. You know what it might be too is that Narrator actually has different modes, and it's not just like a browse or no browse mode. Narrator has several, about 3 or 4 modes, and what I'm wondering is that if maybe you need to switch into like a mode that is specific for Edge in order for a web page to read properly. I've used Narrator quickly as like a backup tool, and when I do go to web pages, I sort of tab and enter my way through because I'm looking for something or I'm downloading something. Like if I want to download and install Chrome or NVDA or JAWS or whatever, I'll go to the pertaining websites, with Narrator, and then I'll look for what I'm looking for simply with tab and enter. But what I'm wondering is if Narrator has like a mode pertaining to quote unquote HTML or web browsing that maybe needs to be activated. So
I mean, it also depends on Edge. Edge was supposed to be Chrome based, but it kind of isn't.
A little louder, please. I can't hear you. Say it again, please.
Oh, sorry. Edge. They tried to. They were gonna go full Chrome based on Edge, but then they kind of didn't, and they kind of did. So that's why I was saying Edge was kind of having an identity crisis. It's not. Honestly, it's still the Internet Explorer. It's still Internet Explorer. It's still, I gotta use this to download a new browser. It's so I would Narrator, to my knowledge, works really well with Chrome, but even then it's actual Chrome or Brave or any pure Chrome based browser, but not Edge. Is just they dropped the ball on Edge in general, so I'm not surprised that Narrator doesn't really work that well with it or that seamlessly.
What browser is the best with Narrator?
Anything that is Chrome based, and Chrome works best with NVDA. Chrome and NVDA are the.
I'm gonna use. I don't trust Firefox that much. It crashes so easily.
No.
In my professional opinion, I think Google Chrome is sort of the accessibility standard on Windows. It's something that I immediately install, even when I set up new client computers for the VR system. We work with a lot of VR clients and do a lot of evaluations and assessments and things like that. So whenever we set up a new system for a VR client, the first thing that I install as an accessibility issue is Google Chrome. And even if there's variants out there such as Brave, so on and so forth, here at Commtech, we like to be consistent with our recommendations. So at this point, if you're asking for the most accessible or workable with any screen reader across the board, web browser, accessible, I would say Google Chrome meets that gold standard.
The Chrome's the answer. Okay.
Absolutely.
And how do I get rid of that web secure search thing, extension? That's
in your Google Chrome menu under more tools submenu, I believe there's a place called extensions. If you go in there right after the information on the extension, it might say something like McAfee security or antivirus or whatever. There should be a remove or a disable button that you would press, and that would no longer interfere with your web browsing.
Yes.
That's what I'm going to do. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay.
You are welcome.
Thanks for your help. Okay. Thanks for your help. Okay. Very informative.
So if there's any other questions, and if you just joined us, please unmute, state your name, and ask your question. We are here till 10 a.m., approximately 20 more minutes to provide you free assistive technology support. Hey, Jack, why don't you tell the crowd a little bit about your Accessive Droid project and what Commtech has to offer in that area?
All right. Yes. So Accessive Droid is the long-awaited Applevis-like community information hub for Android devices and Android applications. So I think we're almost a month old right now. We just launched a few weeks ago, and we strive to offer as extensive a range of information as Applevis does: apps, hardware reviews, guides, tutorials, podcasts, and the like. And so right now, there isn't much content right now because we're growing, but we plan to grow into a vast one-stop shop for Android. And in that process, we already have some app reviews, some hardware reviews, and we are only going to keep growing. We have a forum as well to discuss Android devices, Android accessibility, general app discussions, and stuff like that. And in addition to that, Commtech, we ourselves, not only in addition to running this information hub to give back to the Android community and give us something that us Android users have been waiting for a long time as well, we have an Android course coming out as well very soon. That will cover the basics of Android at its core, the core apps and functionality, from the point of view of a Google or stock Android device. So that is something to look forward to, and Accessive Droid itself is something to look forward to. It is here to stay because we have the resources to run the show and keep growing it, and hopefully the community will gravitate towards it as well.
That's great, Jack. That's great. And if you're just participating and you have a support question you need answered, go ahead and unmute, state your name, and ask your question. If you have a support question, please go ahead and unmute, state your name, and ask your question. And while we are waiting, why don't we have Daniel go ahead and explain a little bit about what he has to offer and talk about your new bundles, Daniel. After you talk about your course, go ahead and talk about your new bundles that you have for the community and how you provide discounts.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, Gabe. Of course. Yeah, so this is Daniel, course creator here at Commtech. Recently debuted the Learn Logic Pro X course, which currently consists of 5 modules that kind of takes you into an in-depth walkthrough of how to use Logic Pro X with VoiceOver and getting the most out of the program. It's kind of a all-in-one package on accessibility with in Logic Pro, right, using VoiceOver. A little bit about each module. Module 1 kind of gets you started with opening a new project, kind of explains the layout of Logic Pro, how things are, what things do. Section 2 kind of covers recording and editing, both MIDI and audio, working with takes, things of that nature. And then we have module 3, which covers, working in the channel strip, adding effects, loading presets, things of that nature as well as different signal routing capabilities in Logic, using VoiceOver, or using track stacks, which are basically combining, tracks, whether MIDI or audio, to make one track, in essence, right? And then part 4 covers, the Logic Drummer, which is a very unique feature in Logic. On top of the fact that Logic has a very extensive library of sounds that come with the program, it also has a drummer that will play in your project for you. It's like having a drummer right in your studio.
Robotic drummer.
Yes, exactly. But he doesn't sound that robotic though. He can do a lot of things. And also I cover the step sequencer. It's another way of composing percussion and drums and even synthesizers and things like that. And finally, in part 5, we just kind of somewhat briefly go over how to share your project, bounce it to an MP3 wave format, or how to export each track individually to submit perhaps to someone that will mix your project for you. That's the way to go. And I do have more modules in the works, some of which include using locators, working with Apple Loops, editing audio for non-musical or maybe musical purposes, right? Such as podcasts, things like that. How to do scrubbing in Logic, and other sections such as like working with studio horns and things like that. So I have a few modules that I already have in the works. I'm doing outlines and making sure I do things right before I begin to record them, but I should start recording them pretty soon. So right now, as it stands, the program, the Learn Logic course is at $99. Not a guaranteed price for long, but as it stands, it is $99.99, and that will get you access to all the 5 courses. Excuse me, all the 5 modules, and even the modules that are to come. So you can somewhat think of it as a membership.
Thank you very much, Dale. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, thank you for writing in. I saw that.
Thank you, Dale. Yes, awesome. And so quickly about my, because I also offer piano lessons and music theory lessons. I've currently me and Gabe collaborated and set up a discount process for ordering 2 or 3 lessons at a time. So at the first lesson, it is $39 or $40 basically, but each subsequent lesson will only be $30. Okay, and so if you want to get book 3 hours with me regarding piano, regarding music theory, regarding Logic, these 3 things are all open for private lessons. $100 will get you 3 hours. So I think that's a pretty good deal considering what the market really goes for when booking private lessons in music and things like that. So I'd encourage everybody to take advantage of that. On top of that, we also do have PayPal as an option. In turn, we have PayPal credit as an option. So I found that to be very a good way for people to access even the Logic course or even the private lessons, right? And in a kind of pay-as-you-go style format. So just wanted to put that out there. Do offer lessons at a discounted rate. We do accept PayPal credit, and hope you all are doing well. And thanks, Gabe, for the time.
Thank you.
Of course.
Good job, Daniel.
Thank you.
So, if you're just joining us and you have a support question, feel free to unmute yourself, state your name, and ask your support question. We're here to answer all of your assist technology software and hardware questions. And while we're waiting for the participants, why don't we bring Taylor Durrett, our iOS course creator, on board to kind of give an introduction on what her courses pertain to, and then maybe she could tell us about what courses she has and what she has to offer.
Okay, yes. Am I unmuted?
You are. Go ahead.
Okay. So I created an iOS basics course for voiceover users, and there are 3 modules in there, and basically the point of this course was to just show the different variety of gestures that can be used all across the board on iPhone and iPad, etc. And so I show several different gestures, like the screen curtain, and I talk about what that is and how to get in and out of the app switcher, and how to actually get into any app, and just a variety of different basic things to start off with, how to turn on and off voiceover, just basically just to show people that they can utilize the phone if they're just a first timer or they're switching from an Android or something else to an iDevice, just to show that it can be used independently. And I also have a course on the service Aira, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people in the blindness community know about this, but for those who don't, it is a service that used on your phone. It's an app, and you get on there and use your phone's camera, and then there is another sighted individual on the other end of the line. It's like talking on the phone, and they get on there and look through your camera and show you what is around. So on that course, I go through the 4 different tabs in the Aira app, and then my final module for that course, I actually use what's called TeamViewer on my Windows device, and I show you how a sighted Aira agent can get into your computer and read print material. So I think that is a really neat course, especially that final module, because I'm showing you how to use TeamViewer and Aira and using a variety of different things there. So yes, those are the items I have.
Well, that's great. And do you happen to know what they're going for right now?
Oh, and they're both about $39 at the moment, or $35.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right. Well, thank you, Taylor. Tyler?
Yes.
All right.
I'm sorry.
So if you are just participating and you have an assist technology support question, hardware, software, whatever the case may be, feel free to unmute and ask your question. All righty. And while we are waiting for participants to join us and ask their questions, I would like to welcome here on stage one of the most coolest tech trainers I've ever had the opportunity to work with. She's a very hard worker. If I had a spotlight and some shooting pyrotechnics right now to shoot in the air, they would be blasting away right now. I want to welcome my awesome possum captain of podcasts, Alyssa Henson, to the stage here. Take the floor and let them know what you got to offer, Mrs. Henson. Miss Henson.
So I do tech training and courses here, and also, like Gabe said, I'm kind of head of the podcast, so I come up with some of the ideas for some of the content you've heard, like the evolution of note takers. That was one of my ideas. The evolution of smartphones or accessible phones. That was one of my ideas. And I've got more things in the works. It's just been crazy the last couple of months. I haven't put out much content because I've been moving house. And that's been most of my life. But I have 2 courses. One is about the Apple Watch from a blindness and voiceover perspective. And it shows you everything from getting the watch out of the box, orienting yourself to the watch, to turning voiceover on, getting the watch set up for the first time, and then how to actually get started using it. And then I also offer a course on using a Braille display with your iOS device. And that one kind of goes over why people might want to use a Braille display with their iOS device. And we talk about the commands that you'll need to know and how to customize the commands and how to pair it up to your device, and some practical use applications such as going into your calendar and scheduling an appointment. And there's not really another course quite like it. Like, you can find some cheat sheets online with commands, but you don't actually see somebody go through and like go into the calendar and set up appointments, or go into the clock app and set alarms, or things like that, like exclusively with a Braille display. And so I thought that was kind of a unique situation to put myself in and create a course. And I also do training here. So I'm the voice of several of the options on the phone. So I am customer service and sales, all representatives. And I'm usually one of the first people that answers the phone. So, and if you're getting signed up for training, I'm probably the person that you'll be working with. And I do a little of everything: iOS, macOS, Windows, note takers, Apple Watch. I actually have a client getting a Amazon Fire tablet for Christmas, so that'll be something new and exciting that we get to explore together. So yeah.
That's great. And how much are your courses selling for right now, Alyssa?
Right now they're about $25 a piece.
Awesome. And that's your Apple Watch. Yeah, that's right. So they're $24.99 Apple Watch and $24.99
Braille display.
the Braille displays. And let me tell you guys something. The Braille display course is very unique in the fact that it truly is. You know, you go all over the internet and you can find little Braille commands on Apple's websites, or Braille commands on Microsoft's websites, or Braille commands on all these different websites, but nobody has ever demonstrated. You know, you'll get quick demonstrations of, you know, the 1 chord or the 4 chord, and they'll teach you some very basic stuff. But I've personally have checked out Alyssa's course, and I'm serious. It is one of the most in-depth demonstrations and workouts for Braille use on a mobile device, on really any platform I've ever heard. And it's something that definitely deserves a lot more credit for what she even speaks on it, because it is truly a very in-depth training, a very in-depth teaching. It's not something where she's just going to teach you some basic keystrokes. She's teaching you how to do actual productivity items on your iPhone with a Braille display. So it's something that definitely, if this is something that you're interested in, if you have ever wanted some real Braille display training in general, because it can also teach you concepts that you can carry into other, you know, items and other things that you use a Braille display for, I would absolutely say go check this course out right now. And like we said, all these prices are at their lowest price of the year. These prices are not guaranteed to stay at this price forever. Today is our last day. As a matter of fact, December 24th, at the end of today, midnight, all the prices are going back up to their regular prices. Most of our prices that we have here to offer are only 50% off just for today, and those prices will go back up to the regular prices later on. And also, I want to discuss with you real quick. Before I do that, let me just say, if you're joining us and you're participating and you do have a support question, please unmute yourself and state your name and ask your question. And we will answer any support question that you may have. And while we're waiting for new support people to come in with some questions, I would like to go over for the last couple of minutes that we have on this hour, where it's 4 minutes until the top of the hour. Uh, we do have an app. It's an amazing app that our staff should probably really get on board making some demos of for our podcast. We have an Android app, version 1.1, just got updated within the past week and a half or so. Same thing for our iPhone, iPad, and Mac apps that we also have. Our apps are really different this time, guys, and they could really use a demo so that we could show you how different they are. We have our news tab where you can find all our reviews, our articles. We've got some great opinion pieces by people like Alyssa and Jack and Dr. Skylar Kovich and Amber Kraft. She's another Sister Tech trainer that we have on board. We also have secret special sales and discounts in our news tabs. They pop up once in a while. We'll alert you only in the notification. So if you have notifications turned on in the app, you might just get a really secret hidden discount that is only for app people who have our app. So look out for those. You know, you might have a $19.99 per month discount code in there or something. I don't know. Go download the app and check it out. You know, you might want a year. Years are selling for $3.99 right now to the public. But if you have our app, I don't know, you might get it for $3.49. You might get a year for $2.99 if you download our app. So the point of this is that in our app, not only do we have our news where you can read our articles and our opinion pieces on the latest blindness happenings, technology, whatever the case may be, we also have our audio, which is our podcast. All of our podcasts show up there in our audio tab, whether the Android podcast, iPhone podcast, general podcasts. This free support hour is going to be a podcast. So check that out. We also have our video tab. Our video tab is where all our YouTube videos go. So, yeah, we could tell you, yeah, go check out our YouTube or go check out our podcast or go check whatever. If you have our app, you don't have to go check out anything. It's all right there, centralized in one little place. You don't have to go to all these different apps and all these different channels and all these different places. Just go check out our app and you will have everything. And one more thing that is really awesome and unique to Commtech and Commtech only, we have our products tab. And in our products tab, you could right there on the spot pay for a per incident. Right now it's on sale for $15. A month of service right now on sale for $39, and a year of service right now on sale for $3.99. And with that, you could buy our service, partake in our service, call us, text us, get support, training right directly from the app. And that is very unique to Commtech. No other sister technology company out there has had the forethought and the mind frame to take blindness technology to where we took it. And we are very proud to say that we are one of the only ones that have done that. And this app, even our Android app, works on your Braille note taker. So if you have a Polaris, if you have a Braille Note Touch Plus, whatever Android device that you're rocking, I think we support all the way back to like Android 5.
Yep.
So whatever you rock an Android, whether it's a tablet that you got a couple years ago, whether it's a phone that you got this month for Christmas, whether it's a note taker you got last year, whatever you have, our app supports it. So go download that app. If you go to commtechusa.net/app, that's commtechusa.net/app, you will have the opportunity to download our Android app from the Play Store. You will have the opportunity to download our iPhone, iPad, or Mac app from the Apple App Store. So my name is Gabe Vega. I am the CEO of Commtech. This is my staff, Daniel Contreras, Pro Audio. Thank you so much for coming. Jack Ferlanchek from Chicago, our Android guy. Thank you so much for participating. Taylor Durrett from Texas. Thank you so much for participating. She's our iPhone, iOS course creator. And like I said, the captain of podcasts, the trainer of trainers, Alyssa Henson from Missouri. Thank you so much for participating. I really appreciate you guys' time. And we do this for you guys. We do this for the community. And the more traffic we get, I promise you, the more these free hours, we will definitely come out as a team, as a company, come out and give back to the community. My name is Gabe Vega. Please visit our website at commtechusa.net. That is COMMTECHUSA.net. Don't forget to visit Accessadroid, where we offer you free accessibility Android advice and support at accessadroid.com. That's ACCESSI droid.com. You can give my staff a call any day, anytime, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Our customer service line is wide open. Give us a call at 1-833-345-8324. That is 1-833-345-8324. We are on the phones waiting for you to give us a call and ask your questions, and then whatever we could do for you, we'll definitely try our best. If you need to email us, go ahead and do that. That's very simple. That's info at commtechusa.net. Again, you guys, from my team to the community, you guys have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and we will talk to you guys later.
All right.
Bye.